Well, just like to say I'm excited to be 1-0, and thanks to our fans, our students, and our band, and everybody that endured that heat. That was a hot one out there. A bunch of our players I know are getting IVs right now, and I'm hoping that a bunch of the fans come out of that thing without any heat issues. And really thank you for doing that. For those of you that stayed 4 quarters, and that's unbelievable, and we appreciate it. As far as the game goes, James Madison's a really good football team, and we knew they would be. I thought our red zone defense was exceptional. They were down there 5 times and only got 1 touchdown, which is outstanding by those guys finding a way to stop them. You know, I thought our stamina in the 4th quarter, drive we put together there at the end on offense, some critical 3rd downs. Jacoby Myers had an incredible game. Really proud of him. And you know, Ryan, a 300-yard passing game, and I thought Reggie ran hard. I didn't think our run game, you know, was as good as it will be in time. And we're missing some parts right now, particularly at tight end. As you guys saw, Dylan Ottenreath and Dylan Parham are still out with injuries, and Steph couldn't play because of an injury, and thought he might be able to go today and couldn't warm up and get loose enough. So we were missing some parts there that would have helped us. But a lot of guys played, and it was great to get them out there. I thought Thayer Thomas, you know, didn't play like a freshman at all. Had a great punt return, had a nice touchdown. So there's some really good stuff, and it'll be great film to watch for our guys, and look forward to it. But just impressed, you know, with James Madison. Their staff does a great job. Their players are classy. They play hard. They're going to have a good season. So with that, any questions?
Dave, do you have an update on Andreas, Brian, and then
Yeah.
also what they were x-raying exactly on him?
Well, he said when he hit the ground that his neck was locked up, so they had to do all the precautions. He was fine. He was actually joking while he was down there, like, did they get the ball? He was all mad that he fumbled and all that kind of stuff. But he's okay. I talked to him at midfield after the game. He said all the x-rays were negative and he feels good. And he actually said he could have played, you know. So, I mean, you got to like hearing that out of a big man. But everything's good with him.
How good is it to have a playmaker like Jacoby that can put the team on his back like that?
Yeah.
What's his status from that last play?
His ankle's just a little sprained. He'll be fine. I was talking to him in the locker room. I think he's more tired than anything right now. But to answer the first part of your question, it's great to have playmakers. You know, I mean, I thought he carried the offense in a lot of ways today, and not having, you know, Steph available, you know, the guys around him. I had to make some key plays at key moments, and you know, 3rd down we were pretty good offensively, 11 to 16, and we got to be better on 1st and 2nd. We had too many 3rd and longs.
There were so many guys going down for both sides. Is part of that being the first game that you're going full speed for a full amount of time?
No, it was the heat. It was hot. It had nothing to do with the first game. I mean, we scrimmaged that number of snaps. We practiced more snaps than we play in the game, actually. It was hot.
Given you'll have to play at the same time next week, what can you try to learn from this one maybe?
Well, I got to do a better job in my prayer. I ask the Lord to give me a cold spell next weekend, and obviously all the people that care about NC State, I'm going to ask them to do the same. And all we can do is the best we know how, and that's hydrate, hydrate. You know, we have all the electrolyte things that we give guys. We do IVs. We actually, you know, check their levels of hydration the night before the game, the day of the game. But you know, if it's 100 degrees, heat index, it is what it is. You know, and you just got to hope that we can get some of our guys back, because that was part of it too. Our rotation at some spots, you know, and when E went down, that hurt our D-line rotation, and then James was out for a little bit. That hurt our D-end rotation, and then missing Steph, and then Thayer had to go get IV, and that's part of it. You know, if you can have a real 2 deep and rotate, that helps a lot. CJ Riley? Yeah, it was a great play. I just saw him in the locker room. You know, last year I know he was a little bit more nervous and timid in those kind of situations, where now I think he's playing with his size, and you know, if you're going to be 6'5", you need to play 6'5", and that was a nice play. Go up and have strong hands and come down with the ball and keep it in his body. So really, really good play. And the second part of that, I just think, you know, those guys being behind Kelvin and Steph and seeing them work hard every day has made Emeka and CJ that much better.
How good does it feel to have built up that level of depth where you can have Lewis miss a game and have Kelvin not have his best game and have Jacoby lead the way and have guys like Emeka
Yeah, I mean, depth is critical in a lot of ways. You know, one, when you have players that can't play, you don't want to have a huge drop-off at a position, and that can happen. You know, it can, and I don't think it did at receiver today at all. Second thing it does is it creates competition in practice because those guys are competing for the ball or reps, and so that helps. You can't have a bad day if there's a great player behind you taking the reps, you know, and both of those things matter on your roster, and we've definitely improved ourselves there at a lot of spots.
Is there any difference in the Reggie Glasgow this season versus the past, and how's he handling kind of being the guy for the first time?
I'd say the biggest difference physically is just he's been able to train. You know, I mean, unfortunately, his whole career he's had little knacks or nicks and knack injuries that have kept him out of training for extended periods of time. And so he's in really good shape going into the season, which is different than he has been in other seasons. You know, he's a father, as you guys know, and I think his personal life is in order. I think he's done a really good job focusing on what's important. His family is very supportive, so I just think he's in a good place physically and mentally right now.
Your running back rotation there on that last drive, did you take him out for those two sequences there in order for him to be able to finish it, or did he have to come to you and say he was going to come on?
There was a couple plays I know where they wanted to get Trent the ball, and so those were scripted plays. There was a couple other plays where he was tired, and so that worked that way. And then there's certain things, you know, protection-wise, they trust him so much, they want to get him back in there for third downs, you know. But it was good to get Trent in the game and Ricky Person in the game and let those guys feel college football.
You had a number of third and longs, including that last one to Myers.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a luxury is it to have a guy like Finn in those spots?
Yeah, I mean, having a quarterback that's going to play in the NFL on your football team is a huge, huge deal. And he's so calm and cool. And, you know, in between there's TV timeouts or a timeout on the field, and he comes over and we talk through the situation. He's just so level-headed. Gives you that comfort as a coach. You know, hey, we want to use the clock, but we want to score a touchdown, put the game away. So I got it, coach. So, you know, I mean, he's just under control with everything.
Was there any thought to being it out, or did you want to touch it?
No, we wanted to put more points on the board right there. You know, had we had another first down, then maybe that would have been a conversation, but we weren't at the point because they had two timeouts where we could kneel it out.
Given the weather and quality of their team, will you grade this one on a curve? Because I would imagine you wouldn't say that you guys were the Christmas in the world with this one.
No curve.
No curve. Then how will you assess this one?
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight I'm going to be happy because I'm 1-0. Tomorrow I'm not.
Coach, defensively, 5 times, they were in the red zone 5 times, only give up 1 touchdown. How happy were you with the defensive performance?
I think that's huge. I mean, obviously we can't let them down there that much, but, you know, to be able to bow up and after, you know, long drives and find a way to win on those third downs is huge. It says a lot about those guys' toughness and their mental makeup, and very proud of those guys. And made some good calls. You know, we really struggled with their quarterback scrambling around, so that's something we got to fix. But it was great to see them finish the drives the way they did on defense.
Can you speak to Jermaine's performance, Jermaine Pratt's performance?
Jermaine's going to be productive. You know, he's playing hard. He gives everything he has. It means so much to him, and it's just fun being around him. And him and Isaiah both. I mean, 12 and 10 tackles each, so it's productive.
And 2 more questions.
What about Ryan's performance today? What you like about it? I know you know last time, just talk about his performance overall.
You know, I thought managing third down was huge. You know, the one scramble, even though I didn't like his ball security, was a good play by him getting us a first down there. You know, managed the offense well, I thought, with some moving parts, you know, with guys not playing that we expected to play. And did a nice job. And there was a couple throws I know he wishes he had back. He had a couple open targets that he missed. One corner route on a bootleg, he could have threw a touchdown, he overthrew, and then had another one where Kelvin was uncovered on the scramble. So I know he'll get pissed, watch that and get better. That's good. That's good for him.
You mentioned obviously Ryan's veteran status and his composure. When you start a game with 3 drives that are a pack turnover, a late hit out of bounds penalty that sets up JMU's only touchdown, and a red zone opportunity that ends in a field goal, just how much does Ryan help in this team's ability to settle in and win the way that you guys did today?
Well, you're going to lean on, you know, your leaders, your captains, and one of our leader captains is our quarterback. So he's a calming guy out there. He's a playmaker. He gets the ball to the right people at the right time. They trust him. And we can't put ourselves in those positions. I mean, I think we beat ourselves to start both halves. We had a penalty on a kickoff. We pinned him on the 5-yard line. The guy being offsides, which is crazy. And opening play, the offense, you know, they got a chance. We scored right before the half to take the ball down and score to start the third quarter and get 2 in a row and we get a penalty. So those kind of things tomorrow we're going to have some real fun conversations about. But today they're learning opportunities and we keep it positive.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.